Hi, good morning, traders. This is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. We're going to get started with our analysis this morning. We don't have, well, we actually do have a little bit of economic data. We have some housing data, existing home sales, Euro consumer confidence, Belgian business climate, some, very minor data coming out today, but that doesn't mean that we won't get any moves today. The good news is we've got a little volatility overnight, and as I was saying a little earlier, I think the euro is actually a great short if you get up towards that 104.60 area. Yes, I am sipping my coffee. The reason why I say that is because that's the big breakdown point. I mean, that's the major breakdown point, and considering that we've had a decent move overnight, I mean, you look at the euro dollar, what it's done overnight. I mean, we've rallied, since Asian trade. I mean, we've rallied maybe about 50 pips, and made a new trend low over here yesterday. We're popping higher. I mean, you get a move back up to 104.60. I think this is going to be a great area to be on the short side. Now, are we going to get up there or not? I got to imagine this is not just me and not just you that are looking to sell up there. I have to imagine that everybody's looking at ooh, look at this dollar yen. Dollar yen continues to peel off. I think it's everybody, thinking at the same time, a move up there is going to be awesome if we can get it. It's just, there's going to be a lot of sellers coming in around these prices, I believe. So let's go ahead and write that down. So 1.0460 is key resistance. I mean, if we start tripping stops too far above that, I mean, we could obviously make it all the way back up to 105.20. I don't know though. I think that like myself, I'd be happy, being a seller up here. In this type of environment, this type of liquidity, knowing we're going into year end, knowing that we're going into the holidays, knowing that there's probably going to be, the chances of dollar demand at the end of the year, I'd be happy to sell up there. Again, if we can get it. So now support at this point. Support's going to be key on the way back down here. I don't think we're going to make new trend lows today. I don't think that that's the potential right now. I think it's more like you make it up here and you look for a short back down towards, sub 104. All right. Maybe down to like 103.65. We did yesterday trade down to 103.50. So again, that would be the only way I play the euro today. Only way. Okay. Are we going to get it? I don't know. I hope so, but then never know. 103. I'll write down 103.50. I think we'd be lucky if we made it back down in the 60s again. All right, it is still bearish. While we're below 105 or so, it's bearish. Period, end of story. Okay. One of the other things that I noticed yesterday is that we had a really big reversal in. Oh, hold on. I'm just looking at bonds. If the bonds can catch a bid, bring that dollar down a little bit. All right. Anyway. But one of the things that I noticed yesterday was the bounce in precious metals. Did you see silver yesterday? By the way, this is check out this chart. Let me get over to it. Look at silver. Look at the daily candle on silver. See that? Big hammer. Big hammer off of horizontal support. False breakdown gave us a hammer. I don't trade precious metal. I don't. That's what happens when you wake up so early. I don't trade precious. I don't trade precious metals, but if I did, I would be thinking, long a little precious metals, like silver, maybe move, maybe a 30, 40 cent move up in silver, um, which would then in turn take the euro, back up towards like the 104.60 area. Just some food for thought. All right, let's go over to the cable. Cable's been underperforming here. I have to say that I'm surprised. Um, I'm surprised that the pound is as weak as it is. I'm surprised that we haven't seen a little bit better performance out of the cable. Euro's up 40 pips, pound's only up 5. But then again, if you look at the euro pound, dollar peso now. I want the dollar peso to hit 21 so I can short it. I just don't know that. But if you look at the euro pound's been pivoting off this 200-day moving average. Ah, shoot, where'd my 200-day moving average go? I think I deleted it yesterday. Hold on accident. I just didn't put it back on this chart. Oops, not 2,000 day. All right. So you can see the 200-day moving average. There's a 38% retracement. We had a lot of support down here in the euro pound. I mean, as I told you guys yesterday, the risk reward to be on the long side of the euro pound makes sense. Risk reward wise, not saying that that was a trade I was going to do, which I didn't, but I'm just saying that from a risk reward standpoint, it made sense. But with the support in the euro pound, it shouldn't surprise me too much that the pound is underperforming at this moment. Now, the pound also has found a retracement at the 618, also the 88% retracement. You can see we're kind of holding steady there. Now, let me go back over to this 4 hour. Let's get rid of this. I don't know what that's there for. I don't know what this is there for. And frankly, we can probably get rid of this for now. Okay, probably get rid of that for now. Don't have to worry about that. So if the euro, let's say the euro rallies to 104.60, can the cable get back up here to 124.25? Sure. Sure can. Trying to think what's realistic for today, because this is not, I don't think this is realistic for today. I can move back up to 125. I don't think so. I don't know where resistance is for the cable, honestly. I mean, looking at it, I mean, I'll write 125, but that's so far away from where we're currently at. I doubt we're going to get there. Hell, maybe we will. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to write down 124.25, 125, but they're not great resistance. Well, 125 is, but this is not great resistance. I know we had that written down from yesterday, but 124.25, right? 125. Still bearish. Once we suffered through this blue trend line right here, once we broke through that, it's been bearish since. It's just support. I'll write down at 123 right here. The support. Okay. Okay. go over to the Swissy. So the thing about the Swissy that's most concerning right now is the failure at 103 and a quarter. I know I've expressed my concerns about this over the last few days, and it really is concerning. Here, let's get rid of this really fast. This failure right here at 120, 103 and a quarter really is concerning. Okay, longer term. I think this failure up here is exposing a move to 102. I know in the past, when I say in the past, over the course of the last couple of days, I've said, hey, if we get a dip down to 102, that's going to be a buying opportunity. It may be, at 102. I think the question is, what does the euro do? What does the euro do? Does the euro pivot off of the 104.60? Brian in our chat room, the Wise Trade chat room, he said, "Hey Blake, are you looking to buy this dip in the dollar Swedish krona?" And I said, I'm not interested in buying the dollar Swedish krona until I see the euro trade at 104.60. So I think the question will be here in this case too: will the dollar Swiss be respecting 102 if the euro gets to 104.60, which I think it will. So that should be good support today. Should. Okay. Resistance, if we get down to this 102, okay. Resistance is, 103 and 103.25, or I guess it's 103.20 right now. It's still bullish. It's just I'm a little concerned that we haven't been able to scale that just yet. Okay. Okay. Dollar yen. So I know we were looking at this just a few minutes ago, but I know we've got some listeners that are coming in right now. So the dollar yen is weak. Looking at it as as the potential retest of 116, which I've told you guys that I think 116 is going to be really key support right through here. Okay. Right there. Now, if you go out to the 4-hour, zoom in a little bit. So we have this like downward sloping channel, okay? Which means that if we do come down to 116 and a quarter, that'll be a support. Let's get rid of this. Okay, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. So 116, I think, will offer really good support down here if we can get it like this. Okay. That's 120 pips away. Maybe arguably 100. It's a pretty big sell-off if it's going to come. But the one thing that, okay, I was talking to you guys about this when Paul was here, so let's talk about this. Have you guys seen the Nikkei? Okay, so check out the Nikkei. Okay, let's go over to the daily. So the Nikkei, you know what? This is since the election, right? Here's election night. See that? This is the Nikkei. See this trend line? Bam, 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 boom. Through it. Okay. Now with the Nikkei, arguably rolling over and rejecting from the 786 161% extension, 88% retracement, big confluence. I tweeted that out yesterday. Big confluence of resistance on the Nikkei. If the Nikkei rolls over, maybe the dollar yen will sell off to 116. If the Nikkei comes back down to 1870, let's just say. Okay, that will allow the dollar yen to pull back. So going back over to the dollar yen, is it possible? Maybe not, this session, maybe in Asia tonight. Is it possible that the dollar yen pulls back to 116? I don't know, but if it gets down there, I'm a buyer. Okay. Resistance. Any move back down or back up to 118 is going to find sellers, without a doubt, in my mind. It's bullish, just we're coming off right now. And Adam asked a question, which is a good one. He goes, hey Blake, random question. Which country would you like to live in for the best trading time zone, since waking up at 3 a.m. can take its toll? Pretty much anywhere in Europe. Anybody who's European has the best FX trading hours, by far. I mean, you got normal trading hours, and you can trade into the evening. I mean, that's if I lived in Europe, I would have a very long day, because I would get up at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, start trading, at 8 or 9 in the morning, and then I would trade all the way until probably 6 or 7 o'clock at night, as until North America, winds down. So the best places to trade, in my opinion, are in Europe, hands down, to trade the currency market. And I live in probably one of the worst places. Actually, I think the worst place would be Hawaii, frankly, because you really have to live. I say one of the worst places to live is Hawaii. I can't just stop and say that. The worst place to trade the currency market in the world is probably Hawaii, because you really have to trade opposite time zones. And then the problem with that is that, you trade at night, and then you sleep during the day. If you're in Hawaii, you only want to be up during the day and sleep at night, because it's so beautiful there. So you're really screwed. Hey, Jack says, I think Chris thinks Hawaii is the best place to trade the markets. And Ahmad says, don't tell Chris Sorrow that. No, I think it's the worst. I mean, really, I mean, it's you have to be a night owl, but then you'd have to, I mean, this is to be a full-time, full on, immerse yourself in the markets. Yeah, it just wouldn't work. I did the math. I did the math, and I was just in Hawaii this year. I was in Kauai, and I was dude, this sucks. Yeah. But I didn't say Kauai sucked because I was in Kauai, because Kauai was, my recommendation is, if you ever go to Hawaii and you want a relaxed time, enjoy Hawaii, lazy Hawaii, go to Kauai. It's definitely my favorite place in Hawaii at this point. I have not been to the Big Island. I haven't been to Kona yet, but I really, really like Kauai. It was awesome. Awesome place. Okay, sorry. I digress. Okay, back over. Let's go over to the Canadian real quick. Let's get that out of the way. So here's the Canadian. Yesterday we talked about a rejection off of this trend line, which, worked perfectly. We look for a dip down to support, which we haven't got to yet. I still think it's possible. So delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. And I think we can pretty much identify, here, wait, let's get rid of that. We can pretty much identify that and this is a pivot off of the 200-day moving average, remember, and trend line, right? So any dip to the 38% retracement is 133. So imagine this, okay? If we get some dollar weakness, imagine the dollar Canadian sells off, breaks through the support, trip stops, everybody goes, ah, shoot, I'm getting stopped out. And then you just get long right on that dip as everybody gets stopped out. So 133, resistance is 134.20. That's it. 133, oops, 33, 134.20. I still think it's bullish while we're above the 200-day moving average, and I'm going to put you on hold. Don't go anywhere. Be back in a few minutes. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. We're going to finish up our analysis here. So let's do that. So here's the Kiwi. Kiwi is, longer term. We've got our nice little head and shoulder pattern developing. We had a kind of a hammer develop yesterday at 127% extension, gave us a nice little wick. Got some upside follow through. My opinion is we can still come back and test like this neckline area. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Kiwi back at 70 cents before it rolls back over. Honestly, well, I'm always honest with you guys, but what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to short 70 cents in the Kiwi. It was like a dream of mine. Like, I wish it could happen. Like, I'm hoping it can happen. I don't know if it's possible, but I sure as hell want to short this damn thing up at 70 cents if we can get it. If you go over to the 4-hour, so here's the 4-hour, and I think we can go ahead and just do this. I think we're going to be really lucky if we can make it back here. Okay, that's going to be 69.75. All right, 69.75. I think that's going to be a real nice short if we can get it. You think about this low over here. All right, let's grab this yellow line. Let's move that over. Okay, you think that neckline right there. If we can break above 69.50. Move to 69.75 would be greatness. 69.50, 69.75. We're in a bearish trend. I really ultimately want to be short the Kiwi. Okay, I just not doing it right where we're at. I've had orders out overnight to sell the Kiwi dollar. I had orders out overnight to short the New Zealand yen. None of them got tripped, but I'm just saying that, and I canceled them already. But those are like overnight orders that I left out because I was hoping that we would get some, Kiwi strength going into last night. Nah, it didn't happen. But I have to imagine that traders are now starting to play long against this 127% extension, or maybe these spike lows, which comes in at 68.81. So 68.80 is support for now. I'd rather be a seller up there if we can get it. Okay. Aussie. So here's the Aussie dollar. Very similar to the Kiwi. Like, let's imagine in a world where we all lived with unicorns and rainbows, and strawberry shortcake was our very best friend. What? So any move here in the Aussie back up towards 73.10, I'd be a seller. Yeah, trying to get that yellow line right there. I can't seem to get the damn thing. That's all right. So bearish. support. Again, 127% extension. More importantly is the 618 right here. That's in the daily. So see it right there? That is of this entire move. Okay. That comes in at 72 cents. Again, if we can get lucky, we're going to stay up all night to get lucky. God, that's a song. I get it. Get it. How many of you guys have stayed up late night to get lucky? I bet there's a few of you. I know I have. I've been married so long, I don't even know what that's like anymore. Oh man, my wife is sleeping, thank God. Okay, so I stay up all night to get lucky, and then my wife goes, "All right, no, just kidding. Oh, my head hurts. Oh, I'm tired." Don't laugh. You know that crap happens to you guys too. I'm not the only one. 17 years of bliss, I tell you. All right. Let's go over to the dollar index. You gotta keep laughing. Keep laughing. You guys think that's funny? All right. Support 102.60. No, the microphone's not broke. I'm just saying 102.60 to 103.60, and we're just stuck. 1.0260, 1.0360. It's bullish. Just buy the dip, donkey. Come on, donkey. Just buy the dip, donkey. Take the carrot, donkey. Don't mind that little ledge that you're stepping above right there. Just buy the dip. Take the carrot. Right there. That's where we want to be on the long side. Not before. That's why if the euro can get up to that 104.60, that's going to be a good short. All right. Peso. Let me get rid of all this stuff. Okay, clean this up a little bit. I am not short the US dollar Mexican peso, although I really want to be. What I'd love to see happen in the peso is this. Okay, that's what I really want to see happen. I don't know if we're going to be that lucky. You know, it's hard to know what the driver is right now in the peso. I just don't know if we're going to be able to get that. Like, part of me wants to just short the peso, the dollar peso, and just say, screw it, I'm just going to stay short. But my fear is that the euro dollar is going to test 102 first, you know, 102, maybe 101, you know, post Christmas. Yank this dollar peso up to 21. first. That's my fear. Anyway, what was that? 2052, 2054. Okay, so that's 2017, right? 2011. Mm. Still bullish was above 20. It still is. The risks, I think, still are to the upside. That's why I haven't shorted it yet, as much as I want to. Like as much as I'm itching just to short the dollar peso. You have to realize this trend is strong. You know, very strong. I still just think a move to 21 is going to offer a good selling opportunity. All right, Nordic currencies. Here's the Norwegian krona. You know, talk about a good risk reward to be short. Okay, this is a good risk reward to be short. I mean, you can short the U.S. dollar Norwegian krona, put your stops right above here. We break below this 863. That's going to allow for a pullback. You know, probably a pretty substantial pullback. But the flip side to that is, you know, how much upside does the euro have? Right. That's the question that I have. Um, See, in the U.S. dollar Norwegian krona, it would be nice if you saw this, right? That'd be that'd be great. So I'm gonna write down 862, 872. It's still bullish. 862, 872. It's still bullish. I still think that it's possible to see a little bit of a pullback here. But the pullback's going to be fairly limited, based on what the euro is doing. Okay. Swedish krona. So again, I was asked by Brian. He's like, "Hey, you're going to buy the U.S. dollar Swedish krona here?" I'm like, wait, if the euro hits, um, if the euro hits 104.60 and I start shorting the euro, then I'll think about that. Okay. So you got a nice little trend line coming up here. 127% rejection, a dip to 910. That's the place to be on the long side. Okay. You're going to find sellers on the move back up to 930 though. Still bullish, it's just pulling back. Still very strong trend. Very, very strong trend. So you want to be able to be a buyer on dips. Okay. Yeah, Chris is correct. And there was a hawkish Riksbank last night. So the Swedish krona, that's the reason why the SEK's got a bid right now. Chris's remarks are, you probably saw this, but more hawkish Riksbank last night per SEK bonds. Riksbank at the end of the road. 3 board members entered reservation. Floden wanted only 15 billion Swedish krona. Skingsley and Olsen wanted no further QE. So that's what's putting a bid in the Swedish krona at the moment. But again, this is not in my opinion, not about the Swedish krona. This is about the, it's still a dollar play. Um, I still think the U.S. dollar Swedish krona is going to be a much weaker currency moving forward as the euro makes its way towards parity. It's just this dip that you see in the U.S. dollar Swedish krona is going to allow for a buying opportunity. Maybe not today though. That this will be more like maybe tomorrow or Friday. But thank you. Yes, that's exactly why. Okay. Got the yawns today. I got the yawns. Your bias chart is finished. Let me go ahead and take some questions. Let's see here.